Okay, so I had this, I bought one at 1707 Meadows Street. I bought a handheld one on Amazon and returned it, and it didn't get good reception. I also bought one for my car, Bearcat HSN, and it's in the storage unit. I had an even bigger antenna that I bought at a Pilot truck stop, and it's probably like 5 feet long that I put on the top of my white Patriot Latitude that I purchased on this iPad, and it didn't get the reception that this handheld Cobra from Amazon gets the best reception, but Cobra is the best CB radio that you can buy. They've been in business a long time. I owned a Midland weather radio in my house as well. I owned a Midland weather radio in that house as well. I had it where you could actually hook in strobe lights to it. There was also a strobe light detector over my bed, so you could see when there was a fire in my house. That was above the bed. I have also purchased a closed captioning device a long time ago for my TV. My TV didn't have caption on it, and Elizabeth was deaf when I first met her, and I didn't even know how to sign. And I bought a closed captioning device in Santa Monica, and she went with me. But that is exactly how, when I first met her, there was no closed captioning anywhere. You had to request closed captioning devices from motel rooms. You had to get kits suggested for closed captioning from motel rooms. They have to have, a lot of motels and nice hotels have setups where deaf people can ask the manager for these boxes, and then if there's a fire in the house or the doorbell rings, these strobe lights go off. If the doorbell rings, lamps will blink on and off. I know that Dorothy Fry has those in her house. She had a closed captioning device when I had been to her house. I never knew a deaf person until, I did know a couple of gay people. I just saw them that were sisters and signed at Sue Ellen's gay bar in Dallas, Texas. Those are the only... I did actually meet Marley Matland when I worked at Aquarium Stock Company, but I did not know how to sign back then. And now I know how to sign fluently. And I can sign and speak at the same time. I'm the only family member that knows how to sign and speak at the same time. And I definitely interpreted for her for 20 years. At every restaurant, at every motel, hotel, for HomeWise, I interpreted for them too. At the signing, I interpreted at doctor's appointments that she had. She has asthma. So, she has definitely robbed my house, and she's robbed all my furniture in it. And, she had no right to steal my furniture. When people don't live together anymore, you give them their stuff back, and they give you your stuff back. And I gave her everything, including pictures of her father, who was a veteran in the armed forces. I gave her picture frames, and even the metal detector that I bought from Kelly Co. that had a vibrating, it was a compadre metal detector, and the boxes were in the shed, and all my gun boxes were also on top of the grow tents. Those all are stolen. And there were 3 water preparers in the house. There was a full kit for Patriots. My Patriot supply was delivered to that house. 2 Spectrum King lights, grow lights that put off this color. This pink color is what an LED grow light looks like. She has stolen this hat a long time ago. My leather chaps a long time ago. I told my mother this, and I told her to call Dorothy, and she said she wouldn't do it. And she should have done it. She should have done it, and she didn't do it. And, that's her problem. It's not my problem. But they will be seeing me in court for all the robbery of my home in Santa Fe and my homes in California. Because this person was living with her mommy in a broken down twin bed in Kansas in a 2-story house with Dorothy. And Dorothy, sits there and, throws on a million layers of clothes and never turns on the heat in her house. She's that big of a penny pincher. And then robs her daughter and her whole family rob my house. And then, of course, my family is sitting there listening to this person that they don't know how to sign. They don't even know this person. They've never even met this person. Ever. They've never met her. Carol Ann Yoshida has certainly met her. And she doesn't know how to sign either. And she would be hard-pressed to understand Elizabeth, and neither would Owell, and neither would Kathy Cox, and neither would Galt, and neither would anybody. Nobody would understand her or know how to sign in my whole family. There isn't one family member that could sign to her. There's no Owell that could sign to her. Homewise could not sign to her. Galt could not sign to her. There's not a single soul that could sign to her, or to Gloria Ann Gruhl, or to John Jarrett. And I sat there and signed for John Jarrett, signed for Jonathan Movart, who doesn't sign. Those two are in a relationship, and Jonathan didn't learn how to sign. Christian didn't know how to sign, and he lived at our house. Karen and Tina did not know how to sign. Karen Traum did not know how to sign. Tina does not know how to sign. Tina Miller does not know how to sign. I've interpreted for both of those. I've interpreted for Carol Hannon at Hamburger Mary's with these two people when they rode my scooters. I've owned over 17 different motorcycles and scooters, and they have robbed my house of things like this right here for growing food, grow tents, growing marijuana in these right here. She's not fooling me. She can fool everybody else, but she will not fool one court over stealing a hat like this. Ever in a million years, or an English riding hat, or a pair of leather chaps, or pants, leather pants, or motorcycle jacket, or a pair of Justin Ropers. She will never fool any court, because when she looked at me, I knew she was lying, and I told her, "You are a big liar. It is obvious that you're lying all the time." And she's a young person that is completely immature, and everybody that she knows is immature right along with her. And there's a lot of my family members that are completely immature. My mother is very immature. I'm the most mature family member that anybody will ever meat. I am lay it on the line. I am tell you how it is, and I'm telling you how it is right now. I'm telling you how it is. That she intentionally robbed me of these things because she wanted to intentionally rob me. She has robbed a whole pile of these. I have pictures of a whole pile of these. There's a full internet page of me helping. There's a secret garden group that I was in that I started on Facebook. That is on Facebook for the world to see. This dog was adopted in that house. You know, Galt is a joke. They're a complete joke as well. That don't own guns, that don't even fish, that don't even garden. I mean, they would be considered, to me, a huge joke at my house. And just because you robbed my house doesn't mean that you didn't rob it. It doesn't mean that For Patriots doesn't have this on record. It doesn't mean that My Patriot Supply doesn't have this on record. You can rob it, and you can say that you didn't, but you did rob it, and it's not with me. The For Patriots is not with me. My furniture's not with me. There's a whole storage unit of homeowner stuff that I have bought back with the money that I saved away, saving and stacking, being a silver stacker with APMEX. You know, when this was in the house, this is too smart for anybody to live to be 140. I was also a Q researcher, and there's definitely Q researchers that have suggested this C60. Okay, that is for age. That is for breaking down things in your body that are harmful to your body. That is not an Elizabeth. That is not any family member either. No member of the family has been a Q researcher and has been a YouTuber as much as I have listened to YouTube. I have listened to so many people. Alex Jones I listened to for years. I was also on his site and bought a bunch of things that they stole from his site as well. And, you know, they can cover up the evidence, they can do whatever, but if you look at 1707, the robbery is right there, and the dents in the carpet, it is right there for the world to see. The painting over of the whole bedroom is there for the world to see. It's on Zillow.com, 1707 Media Street. I obviously was in that home, and so was this stuff right here. And I was the vapor in that house. There were golden Greeks. There was Super T, silver bullets, rebuildable atomizers, drip tips, all were stolen. Gauge wire, things to check the resistance of wire. There was all kinds of wick in my drawers. There was Zippo boxes, knife boxes, acupuncture needles. There was all kinds of things in this house, gunpowder, pistol primer, that they had no business even touching or looking at, because it would be a big boom in their face, and they could blow themselves away with the kind of stuff they're messing around with. Robbery is a crime, and it's punishable by law. And it certainly would be punishable to me, and trust me, every cop would see it, every judge would see it, that the person that owns the guns and the person that reloads, and the New Paltz Police Department would see it, any judge would see it, that they said they are giving me back my guns. Santa Fe Police Department gave me back my guns, and you know, they are not doing their job. And I will definitely take her to court, and I will do my job to sue her and sue Dorothy and sue every idiot, HomeWise and all those freaks that have robbed my house. Any Carol Ann Yoshida and all of these idiots, when, you know, that computer was hooked up to my computer that is sitting right here. Nobody owns a Goal Zero. No Elizabeth owns a Goal Zero. Nobody that I know owns a Goal Zero that is a solar panel. When a For Patriots solar panel is sitting in my storage unit. I've had 3 storage units since I left that house. I've given up storage units. They've stolen snow skis. I've worked at Alpine Meadows. I've been skiing since I was like 4 years old.